Hello, Warriors. New day, new week. Let's make it a good one. All right, so we have some follow through to the downside in Euro. I've been expecting 110. We also have ECB Thursday, so I'm thinking it could be a buy the rumor, sell the fact on a cut by the ECB. I have massive confluence. Let's go the daily, starting around the 110 level, all the way down to the 50% level, which is going to come in right here. 50% 109.80. Worst case 61 at 109.40. So here's the zones for where I'm looking to buy euro. And just a guess, but an educated one, that perhaps it comes after the ECB. If it gets there beforehand, I'll do it. Um, but that's just my best guess on the timing of it for this week. Similar situation in cable, pulling back, not pulling back as much, anywhere around this prior high before we had this pullback. That's about 38% at 30.30, so not that far away. Maybe 29.66, but that's uh, you know possible. That'd be halfway back. Aussie got to that level where I was talking about buying it at 66 and a half, and that I was talking about that up here. So I didn't buy it today. And the main reason, I'll get to it in a minute, is because the Dixie hasn't reached my sell zone. You could begin to scale, but I'm going to try and, uh, wait for the dollar index, which is what I'm keying everything off of. I still think that we held this little Friday. I talked about it, that we could get a rally towards 102.50, and that's what I'm waiting for. So, if that happens, it's another 100 points in the Dixie. Maybe that's how you get 109 and a half in or 109.80 in euro. So I'm going to be patient. I'm not going to have FOMO. If you feel FOMO, put on a piece, put a small piece on, and hope that you're early. Okay, when you put a small piece on, you're not uh, really hitting it on the button, but you want to have a feeler. Traders call them feelers out there. So you pay more attention to something when you're at risk. Ever notice that? So okay, the most important chart right now with risk is the yen trying to put in a double bottom. Now, I don't believe this double bottom is going to hold. Perhaps we get back to the triangle breakdown around 4.5, but it's already fading, and I think that's going to be a problem for risk. They're pretty much correlating pretty tightly with each other. So keep an eye on that. The Canadian, I talked about it rallying back towards 136 to 137. That still looks like it's in gear. In fact, Canada put in a stronger reversal day on Friday than the dollar did. So I would be patient here. A lot of people are going to attempt it at 36. I think they get frustrated, and we rally back towards this halfway mark is 36.94 or so. 38%, we're not even 38% back, is above the 36 breakdown. I don't think this can be a false breakdown scenario where I want to get long back over 136. I still want to sell this market. We'll see what happens in the coming days. Gold, get it over with if you're going to do it. Let's, make these new highs. The only thing I point out about gold, we've been diverging for a real long time. Going back to April, that was the last confirmed high on the daily. And since that time, this grinding, rising wedge has developed, which there's a couple areas of support. I think even if gold made another run to take out the highs, because it did not make new highs for the move Friday. This high missed this high by about a half a buck. So there's still stops above it. That could happen. Um, We'll see what happens there, but I still can't chase the metals, even though they're up a little bit. If I did, it would be silver. Silver holding where it had to hold and putting in a higher low, and the uh, gold silver ratio might be double topping here. The reason you don't want to be bearish precious metals anymore is because even platinum's coming to life. You know, we bottomed last week and we're holding. So nice rally there in platinum. And as far as yields are concerned, you know, similar to the yen. So are we going to rally back to 4%? The market is starting to price in only a quarter now. And let's talk a little bit about risk. Anyone who bought Friday's close is Nostradamus, but you know, was that a break to buy? Now we're just going to blow to new highs. I don't rule anything out, but to me, it would have to start closing back above the 5,500 level there in the S&Ps, and NASDAQ even more powerful today. Look at what it held. It held the 200-day moving average, right? So this is really the NASDAQ making an important stand, just like the yen at these levels. So if the yen breaks down, I'm expecting a breakdown in NASDAQ. If we could take out this moving average, I have a speed line down here at about 16,000. So we'll see. I think people that were predicting a crash today are probably scratching their head. But we'll see. You know, one day up after how the market was absolutely obliterated isn't, you know, the end of some of the carnage and some of the damage done last week. Here's the SQQQ, and I'm still holding. We're down a bit. To me, the key area is back at 850. I don't know if we're going to get back to that or not. It's everything can happen, anything can happen. And let's see how some of the shares are acting. So the gold shares, the miners really got hit hard last week. I'm not sure this is the bottom of GDX, although we're higher today. We're getting a little bit, let's stick with the dailies. You know, we have a 3 drive in process. We couldn't make new highs when gold was pressing the highs. We'll see. You know, I'm not ready to just, you know, jump in here. I think that if there is another sell-off in the market, that it will take the gold shares down with it. So, you know, that's something that I'm going to be waiting for. Here's SILJ, another market flirting with 200-day moving averages. Is this a bottom? You know, I'm not buying it here today because I still think there's one more shoe to drop between here and the Fed meeting. And keep in mind that the summer is coming to a close. I don't know, the 23rd is the equinox for fall, and fall begins. That was a big thing for GAN. So we'll see. You know, I just don't want to make big judgments about Monday after the week that we had. And considering what most things are doing today is just a reaction from things being overdone short term. So the markets have a lot to prove to me to want to change my biases and my narratives. Let's see if there's anything else I want to cover. Let's look at how good. Here are the banks. They're up a bit, but you know, they actually turned down and they're really not getting much of a pop. Most of the strength is in, you know, things like Amazon, and I'm not impressed. Here's Apple down on the day into their event. They have a big event about their new iPhone. It's the biggest event, Apple event ever, was when Eve pluck the apple in the garden of good and evil. And this is the next second most famous Apple event coming up this week. Here's Meta. You know, we had a 3 drive to a top. Does it have one more high left in it, even though it's up $7? It doesn't look great to me. Goog took out its 200-day. Okay, so that would definitely have to get back above 160. Here's Netflix. Netflix could squeeze out another high. It's not the weakest Mag 7. Microsoft getting a nice little pop here today. Are we going to get a, A, B, C up to here? I talked about that Friday. It's possible. Closes back under 400, and you have a problem. So we've had a couple of them here, and they've been negated. I don't think they will next time. And here's really the key to the market, I still think, is NVIDIA. We're up today. Some people like it, and we're going to blow to new highs. I'm not so sure about buying NVIDIA today on a gap higher opening. I'd probably leave it alone. See what happens up around 116. It's going to be an important level for it to be rejected. And just quickly, you have the corn, trying to pull back with everything else, like wheat is, but beans continue to march, and the beans look pretty good. So maybe China, with a combination of a weaker dollar and pretty cheap prices, may look at North America for some grain sales. And I think that's about it that I have to cover here today. Our special guest Wednesday is Sri Kumar. He's a CNBC contributor for many years. He thinks the Fed is making a policy error by easing, and he's looking for some trouble in the banks. Anyway, we'll have a nice discussion about the Fed and rates with Sri on Wednesday, and I'll be back here with Mike tomorrow. So good hunting today. Try and be patient and wait for your levels. And don't just count your pips, count your blessings. Adios.